You know that feeling when you open your front door after a long day and your heart just sinks? When the clutter and chaos hit you like a wall and you can physically feel the weight of disorder crushing your spirits. I lived that reality for years. Every single day, I'd walk into my home and immediately feel my anxiety spike. The pile of mail on the counter, the shoes scattered across the floor, the endless array of items that somehow never found their way back to where they belonged. It was suffocating. But what if I told you that the overwhelming mess isn't your fault? What if everything you've been taught about organizing your home has been setting you up for failure? I discovered something revolutionary, a system so powerful it transformed not just my home, but the lives of thousands of my clients. And the most incredible part? It takes minutes, not hours. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on the exact method that's helping people finally break free from the endless cycle of mess and stress. If you've ever felt like you're drowning in clutter, if you've tried every organization hack under the sun only to watch your efforts crumble within days, or if you're simply tired of feeling like a failure in your own home, this video will change everything. Stay with me until the end, because I'm sharing a game-changing technique that even the most experienced organizing experts rarely discuss. It's the missing piece that makes the difference between temporary fixes and lasting transformation. Before we continue, if you enjoy discovering life-changing home organization secrets that actually work, make sure to click that subscribe button. This is the best way for you to support our work and never miss out on future transformational content. Thank you very much, and let's continue. Let me take you back to the moment everything changed for me. I was standing in my living room, surrounded by the aftermath of yet another failed organizing attempt. I had spent the entire weekend sorting, cleaning, and organizing just like all the experts suggested. My hands were raw from scrubbing, my back ached from moving furniture, and I had more than a dozen bags ready for donation. I should have felt accomplished, proud even. Instead, I felt defeated because I knew exactly what would happen next. Within days, maybe a week if I was lucky, it would all fall apart again. That's when it hit me. The problem wasn't my lack of effort or discipline. The problem was the approach itself. We'd been taught to think about home organization all wrong. We focus on the what and where, but completely ignore the why and how. We try to force ourselves into systems that look perfect on Pinterest, but fail miserably in real life. We fight against our natural habits instead of working with them. And most importantly, we overlook the crucial connection between our physical space and our emotional well-being. This realization led me on a journey that combined psychological research, behavioral science, and real-world testing to develop what I now call the 5 Drastic move system. These are just cleaning tips or organization hacks. They're transformational strategies that work with your brain's natural patterns to create lasting change. Let me show you exactly how this works. The first move is what I call the 15-minute power zone, and it's going to completely change how you think about organizing. Here's the fundamental truth that nobody talks about. Trying to organize your entire house at once isn't just overwhelming. It's neurologically impossible for your brain to process. You're essentially asking your mind to make hundreds of micro-decisions while maintaining focus across multiple spaces. No wonder we burn out. Instead, we're going to work with your brain's natural capacity for focused attention. Think of it like a spotlight. When you try to illuminate everything at once, the light spreads thin and nothing truly stands out. But when you focus that same energy on a smaller area, the impact is dramatic. That's exactly what we're doing with the 15-minute power zone. Here's how it works. First, divide your home into small, manageable zones. I'm talking really small, like this corner of the kitchen counter small. Each day, pick one zone and set a 15-minute timer. But here's where it gets interesting. You're not just randomly cleaning during those 15 minutes. You're going to focus exclusively on visible surfaces and high-traffic areas within that zone, working with intense, deliberate purpose. This approach triggers what neuroscientists call completion bias, your brain's natural desire to finish what it started. When you limit yourself to 15 minutes, you remove the overwhelming pressure of an endless task. Your brain realizes, I can do anything for 15 minutes, and suddenly, starting doesn't feel so impossible. But there's more. This method also activates your brain's reward system. Each completed zone gives you a hit of dopamine, creating a positive feedback loop that motivates you to continue. Let me share a quick example from one of my clients, Sarah. She had 3 young kids and a full-time job, and her kitchen had become a constant source of stress. Instead of trying to tackle the entire kitchen at once, we started with just the coffee station, that one small corner where she began every morning. 15 minutes of focused attention transformed it from a chaotic jumble into a peaceful, functional space. The next day, we moved to the area around the sink. Within a week, the entire kitchen had undergone a transformation, but because we did it in small, manageable chunks, it never felt overwhelming. But here's the real magic. Sarah noticed something unexpected. Because each zone was small and clearly defined, maintaining it became almost automatic. She wasn't trying to remember an entire system for the whole kitchen. She just needed to maintain one small, specific area at a time. This leads us perfectly into our second move, which is going to revolutionize how you think about flow and function in your home. The second move is what I call the flow system, and this is where we start to see profound, lasting change. Most organization methods fail because they focus on where things should go according to some arbitrary rule book. But your home isn't a museum display. It's a living, breathing space that needs to work with your actual life, not against it. Think about water flowing downstream. It naturally finds the path of least resistance. Your daily habits work the same way. Fighting against these natural patterns is like trying to force water to flow uphill. You might succeed temporarily, but it's going to take constant effort, and eventually, nature will win out. Instead, we're going to map your space according to your natural movement patterns. I want you to spend a day simply observing how you move through your home. Where do you naturally drop your keys when you walk in? Where do you tend to kick off your shoes? Where do you automatically reach for your coffee mug in the morning? These aren't bad habits to break. They're valuable data points showing us how to design a system that works with your natural tendencies.